This video is made possible thanks to the support of our fantastic patrons. You guys are truly awesome. Don't forget that you can support the channel for free and receive 10% off orders over $10 at Flipside Gaming by using the promo code Affinity at the checkout. Or if TCG play is more your thing, then be sure to use our affiliate link in the description below. Hello everyone and welcome back to another Best in the Multiverse video brought to you by Affinity for Commander. My name is Alex and today's video was voted for by our beloved patrons. So today we're counting down the top 5 cards that say win the game on them. Now when you think of game ending cards you might be picturing spells such as Torment of Hailfire, Crater of Behemoth or my personal favourite, Triumph of the Hordes. But powerful as these cards may be, they don't have the all-important 3 words that we are looking to qualify for this list. Win the game. There are a surprising number of Commander legal cards that have this phrase printed on them however, some of which you may not have even heard of. So without further ado, let's move on to the list. Number 5. Okay, I'm going to be stretching the rules here a little bit, and that is by putting 2 cards in a single slot. However, in my defense, they both have extremely similar effects. Felidar Sovereign is a 4/6 cat beast with lifelink and vigilance for 4 generic mana and 2 white. He reads, at the beginning of your upkeep, if you have 40 or more life, you win the game. In addition, Test of Endurance is an enchantment for 2 generic mana and 2 white, which reads, at the beginning of your upkeep, if you have 50 or more life, you win the game. See what I mean? Okay, the enchantment requires 10 more life, but in the types of decks these cards see playing, it doesn't really matter. An Aloro Ageless Aesthetic, Heliod Sun Crowned, or Tristani Selesnia's voice deck finds 10 life trivial at most points in the game. And considering you start the game at 40 life, both these cards, especially Mr. Cat Beast here, can seem rather a touch unfair at times. But that's what kill spells were made for. And the fragility of these conditions is also why these cards only make it to the number 5 spot. After all, you've got 3 other people at the table constantly trying to lower your life total. And now, they've got at least a full turn to respond as both these cards only trigger in your upkeep. Plus they now have a much greater incentive to attack you as they do their other opponents. So all in all, a bit of a delicate win condition. Number 4. It's a tale as old as time. Rule over a fairy tale realm, become morphed into a stag by a fairy planeswalker, nearly die to an elven ritual, then have your children leave your plane of reality, but have a huntsman swear to protect them. Truly a story for the ages. Anyway, here's Happily Ever After. An enchantment for 2 generic mana and 1 white. It reads, when Happily Ever After enters the battlefield, each player gains 5 life and draws a card. At the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 5 colours among permanents you control, there are 6 or more card types among permanents you control and or cards in your graveyard, and your life total is greater than or equal to your starting life total, you win the game. Now, I know this card's extensive lists of conditions do sound like something you'd hear at the end of a drug commercial with all the side effects and qualifying statements. But most of these conditions you'll have anyway in a regular game of Commander. For 5 colours among permanents, you'll need a 5 colour Commander. Or for a full flavour win, play King Kenrith himself. Having 6 or more card types in play or in your graveyard is easy to achieve, especially considering that this spell counts itself as an enchantment. Just play a load of dual type cards such as Artifact, creatures and tribal instances, and you'll be well on your way to fulfilling this criteria. And as for life, you've just gained 5 of it, bucko. Throw in some Soul Sisters or Illusions of Grandeur and you'll be laughing. I know a lot of people won't play this card, but it's a personal pet favourite of mine. hence why it gets the lofty heights of number 4. And let's be honest, who doesn't like a fairy tale ending to their game? Number 3. Mortal Kombat is an enchantment for 2 generic mana and 2 black that reads, at the beginning of your upkeep, if 20 or more creature cards are in your graveyard, you win the game. How on earth could this card possibly win? Whose deck has a whopping 20 creatures in their grave? Marin of Clan Neltot, Sidisi, Undead Vizier, Chainer, Dimension Master, Sidisi Brood Tyrant, Carador, Chief Ghostin, Sir Conrad, Muljoth the Gravetide, the Mimeo Pleasant, Jericho, Gary Lichord, Izoni Thousand-Eyed, and probably a few more to boot. Whew. The fact that I haven't lost this card more often is downright criminal. Any graveyard themed deck, you know, that deck that is typically heavy in black, could really benefit from this card. Late game, when everyone's already used their best enchantment destruction on the other opponent's Rhystic studies, you can just slide this onto the table unopposed. Then watch the concerned looks of the other 3 people at the table as they all look around and ask, does anyone have any enchantment removal? Love this card. Plus, you get to shout Mortal Kombat every time you play it. It's in the rules and everything. Trust me. Number 2. Okay, I may be bending the rules slightly again, but these 2 are even more egregious offenders than the Cat and Fight Club here. Laboratory Maniac is a... Do I really need to tell you guys what Lab Maniac does? You know. But Jace, Wielder of Mysteries, is a Planeswalker for 1 generic mana and 3 blue. He has abilities, apparently, but the important part is this box here that reads, if you would draw a card while your library has no cards in it, you win the game instead. So, Labman 2.0. With either of these silly blue cards out, once you've blue Sun Zenith yourself for 1 billion, you automatically win the game. Now, the reason why these 2 are ahead of the rest of the cards on this list is due to a couple of reasons. 1. They are far more well known. 2. The styles of deck these cards belong to tend to utilize them far more efficiently and easily than the previously mentioned cards. 3. Their win conditions are instantaneous. There are no time constraints, no during your upkeep malarkey, just are you drawing a card with no cards left in your library? You win! You could even do it during your opponent's turn if you are so inclined. But that's why these cards win out and claim the number 2 spot. Their ability to be more versatile and go instantly from nothing to winning the game in a single main phase. Number 1. And we finally get to the most pushed card for white in Commander in quite some time. No, not you, Heliod, honestly. Not everything's about you, you know. Right, the actual card that I'm talking about is Approach of the Second Sun. For 6 generic mana and 1 white, Approach of the Second Sun is a sorcery that reads, if this spell was cast from your hand and you cast another spell named Approach of the Second Sun this game, you win the game. Otherwise, put Approach of the Second Sun into its owner's library, 7th from the top, and you gain 7 life. On the surface, this card might seem a little lackluster. After all, you've got to wait a few turns to redraw it, even with the help of draw or self-mill spells. But honestly, I don't think it matters. The card itself gives you 7 life to cushion any hits that you might take whilst waiting for the spell to resurface. And you're at least in white, so board wipes like Day of Judgment and Wrath of God will help to keep those pesky attackers away. So by adding in a little bit of draw power, this card will add some serious pressure to the game, with the rest of the table knowing you can win the game in a set amount of time if nothing is done. Just be careful though, the first time casting it doesn't matter if it's countered. But the second time, that's when you need to hold up your own counter spell to make sure the sun shines completely uninterrupted. But even if it is countered, one cheeky Eternal Witness or other grab back type effects and boom, you're back in business. And back on the right track to praising that sun all the way to victory. Approach not only a great bit of card design, both mechanically and flavorfully, but also puts immediate pressure on the game. Sure, it might be the most high-costed spell on this list in terms of mana, but let's face it, for the effect of winning the game, that's a pretty fine cost in my opinion. And it is for these reasons, Approach of the Second Sun is my top pick for I win the game cards. And that's it for the video. I hope that you enjoyed it. But now I want to know what you guys think. Which is your favourite I win the game card? As always, leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you wish to support the channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us on Twitter @4commander. And if you really like us, you could consider becoming a patron of the channel yourself. Links to all in the description below. And as always, we will see you next time.